up, legends? How we all gone? I hope we're all doing well. We're 10 days out from Christmas. That is mental, is it not? Where has this year gone? Just seems to go so fast, doesn't it? I don't know if that's getting old or if that's just normal life, but it does seem to have flown by. I'm as sick as a dog today, so I've used what's left of my brain to come up with something. So if you are new around here, please drop a like, please drop a subscribe. We have just hit 1,800 members. So first of all, thank you so much to everyone that's liked and subscribed. That absolutely is electric. I can't thank you enough. You are all legends in my book. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing that. So I would appreciate a like. Please like and subscribe. I'd love to get to 2K before the start of the year. If you are already subscribed, then welcome back. Hello to you. Great to see you. These legends here, they went one step further. They joined the channel. We have got something super exciting to announce. I am waiting from confirmation from the powers that be, but we have an exciting video planned discussing it. It is super grouse, and these legends have helped make that dream become a reality. So I can't thank you enough. Wait till you see it. It's grouse. We've got some Ashes content coming up as well. We're going to do a bit of a watch log on these evening fixtures. I think that'll be sick. And also, we do giveaways around here because we're a generous bunch. We give away sports prints from my website, pommysportsalmanac.com.au. We've got movie posters, sports posters, anything you want, framed, unframed. Orders do cut off tomorrow for Christmas. That's the 16th of December. So get in fast. But if you do want to get them, that's it. We are giving away a poster this week as well, this month, just after Christmas. So all you've got to do for that is comment, and you are in the draw to win it. And what we're talking about today is the AFL is like a secret society, isn't it? It's like the NWO. The AFL fixture list has come out, and we're back at it, aren't we? Carlton have had it easy. Evidently, one of the easiest draw in the AFL for a side that last year we finished 13th. So a lot of people complained about it. Carlton guaranteed finals. Now, I want to first discuss this. That whole ranking measurement, that metric, is archaic, because we know now that the teams that were crap this year probably won't be next year, and the teams that were good, natural age and progression of lists make them usurped. Great case in point, Richmond won 4 of the 5 flags. They finished outside of the 8. Essendon were in most people's bottom 4 on the pre-season ladder. They finished inside the 8. Sydney, another team that were bottom 4. So when you looked at that, you've got to have Sydney or you have Essendon. People were thinking you're going to run these guys over. There is my case in point. But I agree, the AFL system is flawed. We look at the compensation picks. We look at the other picks as well, such as the algorithm they use for free agency, which is based on age and contract length. No one really knows what contracts they're on. We know their age, supposedly, although champs data sometimes does screw that one up. But we don't know it. It's not clear. And I think we need to have a clearer system. So how do we fix that? Well, obviously, you could go the randomized picks, because at the moment, there is a fixture bureau who all club together and they're all like, oh, what can we do for TV revenue? I don't like that, because it is always going to be grey. Because when you look at North Melbourne, they've got 13th hardest. They were way bottom last year. Why have they got a tougher draw than some of the other teams? It makes no sense, and it never works out the same way, does it? That the bottom 5 play the bottom 5 twice. Never works like that. Why is my question. So don't worry. I've put my European head on, and I think I've fixed it. So bear with me. This is my suggestion, and here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to mirror the Scottish Premier League, and I think this is the fairest system in the world. So what I'm proposing, rounds 1 to 18 are you play each other once. And then at the end of the 17th round, round 18 will be a bye. We go into what's called the split system. So if we look last year, by that stage that they'd all played each other once, bearing in mind that because the AFL is completely Mickey Mouse, they didn't. So it is flawed in this example. But everyone here has played the same amount of games and effectively played 17. This was what the ladder would have looked like. So obviously we remember that Melbourne were top, Doggies, Geelong, Port, Brisbane, Sydney, Eagles, Essendon, Richmond, Freo, St Kilda, GWS. Then we cut them off, and then we have the bottom 6. We've got in reverse order North, Hawks, Adelaide, Collingwood, Gold Coast, and Carlton. Now, what happens here is something magical. And I want you to imagine in a world where the top 12 play each other once, so an additional 11 games, and the bottom 6, they play each other twice, an additional 10 games. It's not hard, is it? We kind of got this. Now, two things are going to change from this, right? One, genuinely, and you can see there, you could make an argument Carlton were in a shout of finals there, but I think it condenses the season into a macroid. We make this fair that you have equal home games, the extra home game going to the lower ranked sides. Obviously, we have equal home games, so what we do is we split them up. We need to have one more home game for others, so the 17 games. So the lower sides get a guaranteed home game versus the higher sides. There's your punishment. But it's a fair system and it alternates each year. So if you played Geelong at home, you'd play them away the next year. Fair system. You can still keep all your games as well, your Queen's birthday, your Anzac game and all that malarkey. You can still do that. Half of them share grounds anyway, so it doesn't really affect them. Then we go on to the next bit. So this is, we've simulated it of what it would look like. So here's split 1. These are the champions. And as you can see, the 8 changed a little bit. And we saw here that West Coast and Richmond did manage to sneak into the 8. And these guys have played each other once. And I think this is really exciting. We've created a micro little final series in the last 11 games. We've made it really relevant. Top teams are playing top teams, which is like what is really good about Scottish football. When they split up, you're getting the best of the best playing. It makes a fairer playing field. You're utilising your list. You're getting to see some really good football, keeping them in top shape, and some really exciting games as they really fight for position. Now, then we go down to the next bit. Now, the split 2, we can see that not much really changed. Hawthorn did leap a little bit, so did Adelaide. But what is the incentive for this? One, it makes it relevant because you're going to be playing here now a bit more games with more of your talent pool, a great opportunity to expand your list and use your seconds, use your younger players, giving younger players chance of opportunity. The way the AFL works is when you're rubbish, you get kids. Now, kids are really the biggest hindrance in AFL because it takes them a while to develop. Here you are, you've got 10 games to develop these kids, playing against the other sides. And when you look at the AFL, traditionally, the bottom 6 each year kind of stays that way for 2 years with one exception. It's like the 8. It's kind of like the purgatory stage, but then you've got this. And it creates a little bit of a chance for you to plough games against easier opposition. I really like this format. Now, you'll notice before you come at me, Carlton and Adelaide have made the 8 as your system. Yeah, they have. But that's why you have the split. They're playing easier sides. So there it is. And I really like this system. I think it's a fair system. Got some great games there as well. And I find when you look at AFL towards this season, as the younger legs get tired, they get battered by the top teams. So in my opinion, this is the more fairer method. Then we go to the final series and we scrap that nonsense that the AFL have. What nonsense? You get 2 chances. Nah, you don't. You get the same amount of chances as everyone else, but it is a seeded draw. So here we are. We've got Melbourne versus Essendon, Port versus Richmond, Brisbane versus Geelong, Doggies versus West Coast. The advantage is if you finish higher up on the ladder, you get a home draw, end of, and an actual home draw. So I don't want to hear the AFL saying if Geelong finished 4th and they play Brisbane, say in this model, it's the opposite way around, but they can play at the GMHBA. So home game. Stop thinking about ridiculousness. Think about it's a sporting competition, the best of the best. And in my simulation, we did get Melbourne versus Doggies anyway. Right, so what's the difference to my system? Well, obviously, do you know what I mean? You've got 22 games in an AFL season, right? That works out that, what, 23, 24, 25. You'll play 25 games normally. We've added, effectively, when you look at our model, we've added, what, 6 games? 25 plus 3, so 3 games on final series. Yeah, 6 games. We've added 6 games. So there it is. 6 games we've added, but we've created, in my opinion, a higher quality competition. There is a huge gap for me between each season. I think it's far too long. I think it's far too long. There is great evidence from the Premier League, particularly, who's got one of the shorter turnarounds, that there is less injuries in the Premier League than there is in the Senior League, in the other leagues, because of that, because of the way that they use the list. They have to use their squads. You look at Serie A and you look at the leagues with winter breaks, more game time goes in the Premier League than all the other leagues because we have to use our lists. And I'm trying to encourage the AFL teams to do that because there is a hell of a lot of young players. I personally like this system. I think we've created a fair system. I think we've created one that for TV revenue, we're having higher quality games. You don't want to be blaring out to the world Gold Coast versus Port in Port and Port battering them by 120 points round 19. Who wants to watch that? Particularly, I think, when you look at the ladder and you look at the fixture list, there is some really easy games for some really tough games. This takes that out because you know to play finals, you're getting the best of the best. And I think that affects teams' preparations. I want to be playing the best in the lead up to the finals, so my boys are switched on. Don't want to do it. A great example would have been in the 90s when England went to the World Cup. And they played non-league teams. They battered them 20-0 and things like that. And it took them a while to get going. They've said that. Now, they ended up making the semis, but that was because they had to fight through the group stages. But they said that that was one of the things that they refused to do again because it gave a false sense of confidence. They didn't learn anything. I like this system. I think it's exciting. And one thing for me is, from being in the bottom six for so many years since I've been here, the need goes out of it. And then what do we do with the draft? So you say pot 2 has an NBA-style weighted lottery. So that basically means when you finish bottom, you get, say, let's just say, we'll make it simple. Imagine we put balls in a pot. North would have 6 balls, Gold Coast 5 balls, 4 balls Hawthorn, 3 balls Collingwood, Adelaide 2 balls, Carlton. Yeah, you get it. You get the drift. There's innuendo galore there. But that's how it works. You make a real good system. The benefit for the bottom clubs is that they're getting chance to utilise their big list, seeing what their youngsters are like, putting them in the shop window, if you will. And there's still a bit of relevance, in the back end and pointy end of the season. However, for the top teams, there's more of a stable competition, big games there as well. The biggest are playing the biggest for TV revenue. That is my idea. Let's talk about it. What do you think of the Pommy AFL split? It's more straightforward. It's clear. Underneath the Pom banner as well, everything is public. Everyone can see what it is. Let me know what you think. Does that take away the argument? I think it does. I think that's a tainted argument that the draws influence it. Let's remove that from the game. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's have a chat. I'll see you soon. Pommy out.